if you want to end up happy with the life that you're living, and if you want to end up genuinely gaining the success that you want in your life, and getting something out of this self improvement journey, then you have to take ownership of your actions. You have to take ownership, or you have to go full out on taking responsibility for yourself, for your full actions, for everything that you're doing. So this is a concept that has been developed by Jocko Willink a lot, and I really like him. He's a uh, really good disciplined man, right? And he goes a lot into detail about the idea of taking ownership for everything that you're doing, right? And that means genuinely just taking ownership for all the actions that you have done, and all the actions, and all the things out there, all the actions which were kind of at some point a result of your own actions, right? So maybe like the consequences of your actions, take ownership for those things. Take ownership for what you're doing right now and for what will happen after, right? He goes into detail and he says, you know, that you should genuinely just take ownership for much of your life as you possibly can, right? So take ownership for everything that you can that's related to you, that's, something that you can change, and that's something that's you have done yourself. I mean, my bad, I have a bit of a sore throat right now. You should genuinely focus on achieving this level of self consciousness, of self awareness of what you are doing and what your actions can lead to. So you having this ownership, you having all this ownership over your own actions, over everything that you're doing. So basically, when you're doing any kind of action, you tell yourself, okay, I am fully fucking responsible for anything that might come out of this. Okay, I tell somebody something, I tell somebody an insult, I compliment somebody, I am fully responsible for the consequences of my actions, for what's going to come out of this. I am fully responsible for the way that I look, for the way that I feel in my own body. I am fully responsible for the health that I will have in the next years of my life. I am fully responsible for the happiness and all the positive feelings that I will be feeling in the next years of my life. I am responsible for the entirety of my life. Because a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, including myself, a while back, a year ago before I started self, when I fell down this trap of just self victimization. So I just started victimizing myself. I started acting like I was the victim to everything. That I was just this pussy who had no control over his life. I just saw all these negative thoughts, all these negative, not thoughts, sorry, all these negative ideas that we're all being controlled, and the world is all whatever the fuck, bro. Okay, but does that really change like my capability to change my day to day life? No, it doesn't. I mean, I don't give a fuck what's going on a political basis out there. I don't know. I don't give a fuck, but I can change what's here. I can change what's here in the very fucking moments. I can change what I'm watching. I can literally change what I'm consuming as content. I can change what I'm consuming as food. I can change what I'm thinking. I can change my entire environment. So you have the possibility to change all those things. And if I hadn't started taking some level of responsibility, some level of ownership for my life, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here on self improvement, genuinely improving my life every single day and feeling happy as fuck to be here, genuinely feeling grateful as hell to be alive. I wouldn't be here. I would still be back a year ago, genuinely wasting my life away, feeling like shit, feeling horrible. Because I would have thought that I had no control over who I am. That's why I fell down this path of just horrible misery and depression, anxiety, insecurities, all those things. It's because I thought that I had no say in my life. How stupid is that? How stupid is it that we believe that some of us genuinely believe that we have no say in our own lives? Bro, it's your own fucking life. You live your own life. Stop listening to what some dumbass has to say out there. Stop listening to what some guy out there tells you. Oh, this is the way that you should live it exactly like this. You should be doing this and this and this and this. Bro, it's your own fucking life. You know what I'm saying? It's not just completely disregard any kind of advice because there's good life advice out there. There's genuinely good fucking life advice out there, and I'm trying to give you meaningful life advice as well. You know, and I think and I hope that this will be meaningful. What I'm trying to tell you, right? And so just try to be very conscious about what you're getting. Try to be conscious about what you're getting out of everything that you're doing. Be conscious about the consequences of your actions. Take ownership, take responsibility for everything that you're doing. Oh, okay, well, and I found this very, very interesting, and a bit difficult for me as well. This is from personal experience. Once a relationship with a girl ended a while back, with this girl that was essentially my first actual relationship. Man, for a while, I genuinely felt a bit off. I felt a bit weird about it. But then I thought to myself, you know what? No, fuck it. It was my fault. I felt I didn't want to end up genuinely victimizing myself and acting like it was the fault of the girl. It was the fault of that girl out there. No, it was my own fucking fault. It was my own fault that the relationship didn't go well. It was my own fault that things happened the way that they happened. Oh, essentially, they didn't go that bad. I mean, we didn't end up in arguments or anything. So it was kind of, but we just didn't click, right? Things didn't work out. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna take full responsibility over this and the more I thought about it, the more I thought about the actions that I made and the consequences of my actions, I realized that essentially it's entirely my fucking fault. I mean, although the person had some say in it, although the girl had some say in it, more than 90% of why that relationship failed was because of me. It was because of my own incapabilities, which I've kind of realized, I'm in the process of realizing and of knowing them and finding them out and fixing them. That's why I've decided that I won't be dating for the next God knows how long, months, years, because I am focused entirely on fixing those incapacities that I had or that I still have in regards to dating, in regards to being with another person, connecting, truly fucking connecting with another person. And so I'm working on fixing those issues. I'm taking ownership for that failure. And I'm also taking ownership for the wins. Like the fact that I got to kiss this girl, the fact that I got to spend some nice times with her, and the fact that I got to be around this girl, I take ownership for that as well. Although I take ownership for the failures that I've had, I also take ownership for the fucking wins, for the victories. I mean, I take ownership for all the failures and all the bullshit that I've done on self improvement and before self improvement, but I also take ownership for the victories that I've had. The fact that I've been able to turn my life around, a 180 turn in a year. A 180 turn from depression, from anxiety, from even maybe suicidal thoughts. Eventually, those could have happened, those could have existed. I've taken a turn from that to genuinely being who I am today, being a fucking confident ass motherfucker, being a happy man, being fulfilled with who I am and genuinely being happy with This idea of hard work and working hard, and achieving a good level of success. I'm fulfilled with this, and I love this lifestyle, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. I wouldn't stop improving myself for anything. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to, bro. You need to take ownership for your own life as well. You need to take ownership for your own actions. You need to take ownership for your failures, but at the same time, also take ownership for your victories. Both things need to be taken ownership of. Be responsible for your consequences, but also for your actions. And you know what? I think at the same time, don't overdo it, right? I mean, as anything else, you can genuinely overdo it. You can really overdo it by taking ownership, taking responsibility, and beating yourself up over things that you genuinely had no control over. Okay, you're like, this is a very fucked up example, but okay, your grandparent, whatever, gets cancer. You don't have a say in that. I mean, unless you fucking single handedly gave him cancer or her cancer, then you don't have a say in it. Then you have no reason to beat yourself up over it because you had no tangency in that tragedy. You had no tangency. And this can happen in daily little things. Okay, somebody's experiencing some sort of problem out there, and you genuinely never even interacted with this person. Bro, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't beat yourself up over it. I mean, a lot of people, including myself, I think I have this tendency to be very empathetic with people. So I have a big tendency to just kind of feel whatever people are feeling, especially when it's actually a bad situation, especially when it's about negative things. I have this tendency to just be able to really kind of relate to what the person is feeling. And that sometimes can make me feel like shit because fuck man, like this happened and everything, and I'm bringing myself down, but then I have to remember that although it's good to be empathetic, it's good to relate to people. Like that's beautiful. Just don't overdo it. Don't take too much ownership over that person's life because it's not yours. It's not something that you have control over. I mean, you can try to help that person, whether it is in living a better life or something like that. If you want to get that person on self improvement, but they don't want to go on self improvement, then don't take ownership of that failure that this person has. That okay, they don't want to go. I mean, it's their own fucking choice, right? And it's their own fucking. It's a shame that they don't want to improve their lives. It's a shame that they just want to live their shit fucking existence, their miserable existence for God knows how long. It's a shame, but you don't have a say in it. You tried your best, you've tried to give advice, but you cannot go any further than that. So don't take ownership over that failure. I mean, take ownership over the fact that you tried. Take ownership over the fact that, yeah, it's fucked up, but it is what it is. Take ownership over your own line of thinking, over your own line of thoughts during that situation. And we taking like more responsibility for who we are and genuinely being responsible for every single little action that we make, genuinely in the long run, this all has a compounding effect that just leads us to becoming these great people, these amazing great people. I mean, think about the way that you would be acting if you genuinely just started taking ownership for everything in your life. I mean, when you're starting self improvement at first, you're genuinely just starting to take a little bit of ownership for some parts of your life. And then you're just kind of expanding that little by little. But imagine if you just suddenly just took ownership for your entire life, for everything that you're doing in your life. If you're like, okay, it's my fault, or yeah, it's because of me that we ended up doing this and that we ended up that doing that and why this happened and why this and this and this. It's my fault because I had a say in it. And so I'm responsible for it. You know? Again, don't overdo it because you can easily overdo this by just taking responsibility over things that genuinely don't even look like they don't serve you. They don't even have any kind of tangency with you. But in the things that you genuinely know that you are in control of, or in things that you genuinely know that you could be in control of, take ownership of those things. Take ownership of the things that you could or are in control of. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. This idea of ownership, it's very, very effective as well to just build a disciplining lifestyle. I mean, if you want to become a disciplined man, then I think ownership and taking ownership of your life, it's the best way to do it. I mean, you see yourself unhealthy, you see yourself an unhealthy person physically and mentally, okay? Take ownership over that. Okay, from now on I'm responsible for all everything that happened and I'm responsible for everything that will happen. Okay? Well, I might as well start going to the gym. I might as well start all these thought processes that will help me develop in a better manner. I will start reading all these important books. I will start thinking about all these important aspects of my life. I will start eating clean. I would start doing all those things because I take responsibility. I take ownership over my own life, over my own consequences of my own actions. Yeah, man. And that I think that's very valuable for a lot of us as people. I think it makes a difference between a disciplined man and just some random pussy out there, some random bloke out there. So yeah, man. Hope you got some value out of this video. I'll see you next time. Good luck.